Guess what? We actually have some news today. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. I'm Justin Sofro. Today is Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. And before we get into this, please, I'm going to say this again. Go ahead and headbutt that like and subscribe button like you're Zinedine Zidane in 2006. So that if you could for me, go ahead and do that now. But without further ado, let's get into it. Some of these stories are going to be a little bit, some of them are going to be old stories that have been just a couple updates. We'll go over it. Maybe don't dive into it too much, but let's go and get through it. Starting off, the biggest news that came and dropped last night, there was a bombshell that basically DiMarzio has announced for, I can't remember what time it was, but he announced that, a big bombshell was going to drop. And we were all kind of sitting, hoping and praying that basically this news was going to be the news that the Frenchman Pogba was going to something maybe coming to Juventus. Unfortunately, the name that came out was Tolisso. And that information was that DiMarzio said that Tolisso is an important player on Juve's list. There's an approval of Allegri, and some contacts have been initiated. It's not Tolisso over Locatelli, but both. Locatelli is the main target. Nicolo Ballas backed this up, saying the Tolisso hypothesis has been on the table for months. He's on the way out of Bayern, but the injury history worries a lot. With a year to go on his contract, it could be an opportunity. For now, he's an alternative. So, and then Mirko Di Natale continued on to say that for Bayern, Tolisso is one of the players that they want to sell to make money. The cost could be around 20 million euros. Juventus is interested, but at this moment, still no contacts between the clubs. I think the name was obviously something that Juventus was interested in, what was it, a few years ago or so. But the problem is since he chose to go to PSG, Tolisso has been, not PSG. I apologize. I'm going with another story already. Since he went to Bayern, he's been very injury prone. Lots of injuries. So problem with a lot of these players. So it's just more of something that maybe he could be one of the secondary options going forward before we settle on him. But it seems that Allegri is very interested in this player. Moving on, basically the news dropped. Juventus, actually news that's from Juventus, saying that Alvaro Morata has officially extended his loan agreement at Juventus from Atletico Madrid. The Spanish forward will wear a black and white jersey until June 30th of 2022. So that's good news to hear. We were kind of expecting that, but we at least have one striker nailed down for next season. Going on to the other striker that we have Cristiano Ronaldo. A bit of news. We covered a lot of that yesterday, but I'll go back into covering just some of the important topics there. DiMarzio is saying that in the coming weeks, Juventus will meet with Jorge Mendes. The possibility of Ronaldo leaving depends on the teams, on what teams are willing to pay his wages. If he doesn't lower his demand. So far, the club showing interest in Ronaldo are PSG and Manchester United. We kind of are familiar with this. We kind of know those are the clubs that are pretty much the options we have. Gazzetta dello Sport saying that PSG would be Cristiano Ronaldo's favorite destination if he leaves this summer. Juventus would not be against the swap with Mauro Icardi. But everything will depend on the future of Kylian Mbappe. United have reportedly offered Ronaldo a 2-year contract at 20 million a season. Juve could consider an exchange with Pogba. However, United is currently negotiating with Jadon Sancho. Real Madrid and Sporting CP are keeping an eye on him. So I believe, it's been something they talked about last year too, that Sancho was a priority for Manchester United. Again, I say this every day. That's my preference. Give us Pogba over the other ones, but keep an eye on it. And then CAT Radio is reporting that Dembele has an offer from Juventus on the table for 5 seasons. The clubs are offering him about 12 million euros a season, but will not sign him until 2022 when he becomes a free agent. So it's again, Dembele has been a name that's been out there that's been floated for a while. It seems like Juventus, to me, what I feel like is Juventus is contractually obligated to offer a contract, I guess, to any player that scores or hurts them during any kind of what's called why am I blanking? Champions League play. With Ronaldo. Why am I blanking? Our great defender, De Ligt. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. But anyway, moving on, news that actually interests, well, not that actually interests you, but may interest you as well, is the main the hottest target for the transfer market that we currently have is Locatelli. Nicolo Balles is saying that Locatelli remains the target. Juventus is his first choice and talks with Sassuolo ongoing. Again, we get this news every day. Tutto Sports saying that Juve and Sassuolo have identified Radu Dragusin as a player to be included in the Locatelli deal. If Sassuolo were to sell Marlon, I think Marlon, to Shakhtar, that would free up a place in the defense. So I feel like Dragusin, and then I know there was also, I would honestly prefer Dragusin or Frabota to be one of the players that we were to transfer, or not transfer, but, trade out to them rather than using, either Fagioli or Ravella. That's my personal opinion. I like the idea. Dragusin's been solid for Juventus, a couple of games that he played, but I don't know with some of the targets they're looking at if he really has a future for the time being. And then, okay, I'm about to eat my words a little bit. After yesterday, I kind of made a comment saying that, certain names won't pop up, certain names I haven't heard much again. Well, guess what? He's back. I mean, in my own words, I'm wrong. Nicolo Balles is saying that Tielemans is another target. He is liked by many. Leicester still consider him a non-transferable and are pushing for his renewal, but Juventus wants to try. So I guess that is a name I need to keep updated on, and I will look more into. And I obviously, from what I've seen and from conversations I've had with some people, he seems like a solid target for Juventus. But right now, it doesn't seem like Leicester are willing to sell. So we'll see what happens from there. Continuing on, Nicolo Balles is saying again, our old buddy, his name pops up again, Pjanic, is out of the project in Barcelona. He is asked to leave on a possible 2-year loan, but the club still wants something in return. The Allegri Pjanic channel is directing the idea is always alive. So we're going to keep getting berated with this until something happens with Pjanic. Are we going to go from, I think I made this joke with somebody yesterday talking about, I remember, if you all remember, there was a time period where Romeo Agresti had reported that it wasn't just Locatelli or Pogba, it was Locatelli and Pogba. And now, are we going to go switch to, instead of Locatelli and Pogba, it's Pjanic and Tolisso? Is that what we're getting stuck with? Is that our substitution? Just keep your eyes on that. And then also continuing on, Calcio Mercato is reporting that Atalanta want Demiral, but for now it's really just a dream for them. The operation is complicated because Juve wants at least 35 million for them. Again, I talked about this yesterday. Can they really afford it? We'll see. One of the big news that kind of dropped this morning, excuse me. One of the bigger news that kind of dropped this morning, at least for me, like I said, Italian shield and all that. Gazzetta dello Sport's reporting that Milan and Brescia are still without an agreement one day before the deadline for the redemption of Sandro Tonali. Elliott has given a mandate to not go beyond the 10 million euros. Chiellini has already had the bonuses, so they've already done enough to kind of like work with them. But right now we're still seeing there's possible interest from Juventus if the agreement falls through. I wanted the two names that I really want, one that I'm in love with, that I'll always be in love with, is of course Zaniolo. Injury issues again are an issue, but he's such a great player. When he's healthy, he is on. Sandro Tonali has also been kind of like, he was pushed as the next Andrea Pirlo. Obviously, he doesn't seem to be that yet. He's still got a ways to go. But I still see a lot of talent from him. He didn't really do a lot with Milan this year, which also is the reason why that price seems to be a lot lower than, I think, what was it, like an estimated 40 million euros last season when we were looking at him. So if Juventus were able to swoop in and steal this deal for about, 10, 15 million euro, to me, I say go for it, do it. I want this guy on our club. I think he could have a promising future, and I think he can develop into that. So I say go for it. Tutto Sports reporting that Sirigu is still in the running to take over the role of Szczesny's deputy at Juve, left vacant now by Buffon's departure. Not just Juve, but also Cagliari are also making moves for the goalkeeper. Something to keep an eye on. Sirigu seems to be one of the higher names for me that I like from anything that I've heard so far, especially given that Padim does not want to be a backup keeper. Again, and then Romeo Agresti is reporting that a contract between Cherubini and Ramsey's agents is expected in the coming days. Ramsey for Juve is a player at the top of the list of departures. We all know this. We want Ramsey out of here, regardless of that whole statement he made and some statements that he made. You know, that he's a Juventus player. Yes, he is a Juventus player now, but the future is not at Juventus for Ramsey. So hopefully we can find a situation that's beneficial for both the club and things, because we just don't want to see that get drug out. Also, and then we go to the last couple stories of the day. We have La Stampa's reporting that Bakker, am I saying this right? Bakker. I think it's a Dutch player, so I'm not really familiar with Dutch pronunciations. Among talks between Juventus and Raiola, the name of Michael Bakker, a 20-year-old, came up. He could be on the way out of PSG. I did a little bit of just quick research in this player. I'm actually kind of interested in him. He's a defensive player, 20 years old. Well, it said that right there. 20 years old, from the Netherlands. Maybe a solid bit of chemistry and connection with De Ligt, maybe to set up a little bit for the future in that defensive scheme, especially when you have players, you know, you kind of see, regardless of what you may think with Bonucci and his issues, but like he and Chiellini together had a lot of chemistry. So maybe that could be like De Ligt's compatriot there to try to like strengthen that, and you can see with their international play too. So I'm kind of for this one. I like what I'm hearing from this one. Let me know your thoughts too. Please go ahead and let me know all your thoughts on these possible transfers, anybody we may be getting, the names that you're hearing, names that may be departing. If you think that they should stay, if you think they should go, I want to hear your thoughts. We want to get more participation from you, all the fans, and I want to hear whatever we can from you. We're coming here soon, and I want to start getting your stories. Maybe we can share them here. Once we do lives, we want to bring you on, but maybe I'm trying to see if maybe you want to send me a video snippet of like why you're a Juventus fan. We can include that in some videos going forward. So just reach out to me. My Twitter handle is @JustinSofro. That's JustinSofro. And then the final story of the day is really short one that we know. Sky Italia is reporting Allegri asked for it, and it's happening officially. Chiellini will sign a 1-year deal. So that's really good. I like that for their defense. Chiellini really showed, even in this last Italian match and for the Euros, that he is still capable of playing at the top level regarding, you know, even though he's been 36. Or it's felt like he's been 36 for 5 years now. But the man is one of the greatest defenders I've ever seen play, and I would love to see him continue on at least for another year with this club. Let me make sure. I believe that's all we have for today. I kind of ran through it quick. I kind of I motor mouthed all the way through it. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out with me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about your opinions on this and like any other kind of news stories going along with that. That's all the news I have for you today, but go ahead and check in with us tomorrow as we'll have the latest roundup covering all things Juventus. Please like the video and subscribe, as it really helps our channel grow. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to stay up to date for our latest drops as soon as they become available. Follow Bianconeri Zone @Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me @JustinSofro on Twitter. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri, and of course, Forza Azzurri.